Hey, Ryan, why don't you pull up Amazon's margins real quick?
Well, yeah, I'd have more of a grin on my face than Stephen Hawking on Epstein's Island.
I'm off as a smug cock when he said that.
Wow, fiscal philosophy, you're not very smart at all. You screw up, cash flow kings. Dissector, you are an idiot.
Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. And for me tonight, everybody, this is going to be a rough night. And the only thing worse for me than MPW stock is having to discuss it with other MPW investors for a solid hour and a half. But I'm here for the paycheck. That's all I'm here for. Welcome back, everybody. Hello. It's Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm taking the heel turn this week, you could say. I don't want to be here. I have, late places to be, ladies to see, TV to watch, lots of things I could be doing. Like what, Fiscal? What else could we be doing tonight?
Gosh, I was at Sam's Club today, and the person in front of me, they were checking out with a case of Bud Light. Can you believe it?
Were they looking a little fruity, if you know what I mean?
I think that they were getting ready to do that Saturday 8 p.m. instead of be on the Cash Flow Kings. Can you believe that?
That's a fake man's investor, that's for sure. They probably don't even invest.
Yep. You know what else you could be doing? You could be doing a lot of bad things.
You
could be snorting a little bit of the devil's snow off of a slipper's booty. Perhaps.
It happened last week. Yep, that did happen last week.
I'd buy that for $1. So, you know what else? I've heard that there's something you can buy for not much more than $1, and that's our channel memberships.
Oh, and Fiscal, I think I might have to say it. I'm going to say it early tonight. If we get 5 channel members, we have a celebration in place. Essentially, guys, $2 a month channel memberships. The best thing you can do with $2 every month. You can't do a lot. You can get like a fractional hooker, but like not even a full service. Like not worth it at all. And that only lasts like 2 minutes. One for some of you guys. The Cash Flow Kings channel membership lasts an entire month. So $2 a month. If we need 2 more channel members to hit 5. If that's a bit of an accomplishment. Me and Fiscal have already come on a pre-agreement. For 5 channel members, we will be doing a members-only cooking competition. That's for right. 10 channel members, for 5 channel members, it's going to be the big reveal. You ready, Fiscal?
Yes.
It is pancakes and breakfast theme. So it has to go off different. It's mainly an aesthetic competition. So whatever looks the nicest, you think. I think we both have to use phones too to kind of make it equal. I can't have you pulling up with a Canon 4000, whatever you call them these days, or an Apple. I can't be using an Apple 16 Pro Plus. I'd be cheating. So I think to only make it fair, we got to both use cell phones, and I don't have a crazy phone, so I'm not going to be cheating. So we're going to have it be pancakes and, other breakfast amenities, coffee, whatever you want. Whatever's most aesthetically pleasing, I think, is the main goal. But once we do an IRL show, we'll do an actual, we'll meet up and
I'll send you some pictures of breakfasts I've actually made on Discord. You can quake in your boots.
I've seen your cooking, and that's why I want to save the steak one for like 10 or 15 members. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We gotta, at least build it up a little bit.
Definitely.
Let's look at the chat real quick. Obviously, you can appreciate somebody comes in at 7:12 p.m. Hello, John Judas. How are you? Could it be a debate tonight? I'll say this. We have people from both sides of the Catholics and convicts here. Who's the Catholic and who's the convict? That's for you to decide. All I'm saying is that I showed up with a Stone Cold Steve Austin tank on today, and that only means business. So do the math.
100%.
You screw up Cash Flow Kings. What's the latest on the Camaro? What's the latest on the Camaro saga, everybody? I haven't been paying attention this week. Stocks are doing good, so it's not good for us, I guess.
So, what people think he's going to do is that he's going to slowly stop showing his Schwab account and start funneling money over to Robinhood to claim that he's using his profits from Schwab to fund his Robinhood account to hide his losses, basically. And I mean, I think he is still showing his Schwab for now, but he started talking about Robinhood more and more and how he's going to have two $10,000 accounts.
I think I did see that a few weeks ago. You know, I want to have two $10,000 accounts. That is the one just compound, then the other one compound. The one compound, the other one compound. Let's see who else is in the chat. Let's see. Thought he'd say MPW. Absolutely not. Double D's, who will be on the show tonight for the next 2 weeks. Actually, he approves the channel membership, and we'll get him in here to just tell everybody how good it is in a second. But we get 5 channel members, so a few prerequisites, Fiscal, because you did say that potentially, there could be a lot of discussion tonight. We can't get everybody's discussion. So
Right.
What's the best way for the people to get their direct questions to us?
Well, if you are a channel member, you get a priority on getting your questions answered in the chat. Also, if you're not a member, maybe you're not a fan of recurring costs every month. You don't know what your budget is month to month. I get it. Send it with a super, and it gets highlighted. We definitely prioritize and appreciate those supers, even if you're not a member. Yep. Basically, yes. It's all about the money.
We don't do it for any other reason. But I think we get this little channel roundtable. And do we think we start with the MPW investors, or do we start with the heels, the anti-MPW? And by the way, Arya, you are still welcome to come on. This is, it's pretty much free to everybody. We do have a lot of spots, but if you're interested in debating whether MPW sucks or not, oh man, I'll buy a channel membership if Ryan shakes. I can't do that on stream, can I?
No, he's not 21, so that's probably against YouTube's stuff. But I'll tell you what, I'll do it next week. Next week, if you want, I'll chug a beer on stream because I'm
terrible. What a horrible thing to say, Leaf. I could double down and go even worse. I'll say MPW is a buy, no matter the price. That's kind of like. That's even worse than a crime, I think. I'd rather do a crime. Okay, I think we get to our little round table now. To start off, I think we'll start with the heels, and it's somebody who's going to be coming on for our little going away show next week. It's going to be a little emotional, This is the start of me and Double D's, actual lives, it seems. We're going to have to, put the camera down for a little bit and start actually have to, do stuff. But Double D's, welcome in. I'm happy to have you on the right side of the aisle, you could say, the right side of the spectrum.
Yep. We are on the correct side of history. People are going to look back at this in 5 years. They're going to say, Dividend Dude, Ryan, we're on the correct side of history as MPW goes bankrupt, gets closer and closer to bankruptcy.
It's true.
MPW, it's I'm not bullish on it. One could say I'm a little bearish on it, and
one could say.
So, where are you? Are you still? Is it still at a 50-50, or is it getting worse?
I still think it's 50-50. I'll be honest.
I think we're at a 60-40 now.
I'm in trouble.
And by the way, everybody, we do have Making People Wealthy merch if you want to check that out. It's link in description, of course.
If it does go to zero, that'll be very ironic, that merch.
I know that. We're going to get some legal issues for that. Hopefully Leaf will bail us out with all of his gains he hopefully has. Speaking of a man with MPW gains, next is another reoccurring guest on the channel. It is Stabulo, Jordan Carlson, Joseph Carlson's #1 fan. A lot of names for him potentially. Welcome in, though.
Victoria E. Morgan, Edward K. Albag. He goes by many names.
Lots of different names. One could say the most due diligent investor when it comes to MPW. One could say. He's also been on another stream where we did a while ago where it was just basically the four of us. We had a little 2v2 debate. It was good fun. Next, we have Beater Stocks, very famous internet troll, and we're happy to have him on.
The #1 hater of Rob Simone from Hedge Eye Reads.
What's up, gentlemen? I can't go on camera after the things I've said.
Yeah. Also, don't drop anybody's address, please.
Yeah, no addies tonight. No addies tonight.
On screen, please.
Bro.
He's already having issues. And then we have one more guest who I can't get on right now because something's not connected.
Spawn's been a nightmare too.
All right, so what's been the recent scoop with MPW Fiscal? Obviously, I have a lot better things to do. I have mamacitas to see. I have beers to drink. Being an alpha male, eating steaks and going on dates. MPW is not a priority in my life. I'll be honest. What's the latest with MPW?
Gosh, so much has happened. So, they just had Q2 earnings. The steward bankruptcy is progressing at a pace. Some say it's too slow. Some say it's too fast. It's been a mixed bag for sure.
All right, Columbo's in here. This is, by the way, everybody, this is the guy that got scolded by Khmer, so it's actually an honor to have him on. I can appreciate him for his service.
Yep.
Thank you. Columbo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. Everybody's in. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, mixed bag type situation, but overall, I think the market has shown since the earnings release that it's pretty happy with how things are progressing with the Steward Chapter 11 and with MPW on the whole. And yeah, there's like this supposed potential dividend cut on the table, but the fat lady hasn't sung on how that's actually going to go yet. Some people are talking about maybe there's going to be a share-based dividend. Some people are talking about it temporarily being 8 cents until Steward's bankruptcy is done. But we don't know. That's the big thing, is there's uncertainty with the dividend right now. But
Vici doesn't have uncertainty in their dividend.
When is there not uncertainty with MPW though? Always uncertainty. Just an uncertain stock.
The uncertainty stops, I think, when Steward's Chapter 11 is over. But any of the other MPW investors can feel free to add some color to that one.
All right, Blake comes on and he asked when the Starbucks roundtable. That's actually going to happen, trust me. And I'm going to make it very painfully awkward for Fiscal because he didn't buy in and take advantage of lifetime gains.
Yeah, that's right. I got one share. And also, by the way,
could have been 20 shares. Could have been
just
50.
FYI, in the same period where you guys were buying Starbucks at 75, I was buying Clove at like $1.50, which is you can just look up
it's a penny stock. It doesn't count.
It
doesn't count.
Okay.
It's small cap. Or it only counts if it's a large cap stock, right, dividend dude?
The Clover, it looks like it's oh my god, it's up 64% in the past month.
Wow. And Fiscal bought it.
That's actually.
I know it goes against the falling knives method, but I thought I'd try buying one that goes up for a change.
Who should we have on the Starbucks roundtable? Obviously, Double D's. We should try to get PPC in on. That'd be funny. All right. So Blake has a very interesting proposition, and it's actually a really good segment to start off with. Let's see if you can all talk me into this cigar butt play. Me and Dividend Dude will let you, the four of you, share your bull thesis pretty much with it in like under a minute, quickly. So, not under a minute. You know what I mean?
The bull thesis wraps around the idea that it's undervalued. There's no like. Other than that, it's kind of like cooked.
The bull thesis is that its buildings and land are worth more than what the share price implies.
Just a set of buildings.
It's a one-sentence bull thesis.
There you go.
No. You forgot the Rob aspect. I've been known to dox Rob at times and threaten him.
You're doxing yourself with this mic connection right now,
dude. You sound like you're taking a shit.
Darth Vader on the mic, not good. Columbo, do you want to share your bull thesis with MPW?
Oh, I think it's macro related. I think there's going to be a point in time when the first rate cuts happen, when people will be scrambling to find things that are interest rate sensitive, and then they'll look at the valuation of it, and they'll see the cash flows that are going in and have been going in, and they'll not know the story fully, but they'll buy it anyway.
I know a company that's somewhat a little underrated and also has cash flows and also has been doing good because of interest rates recently.
There's many companies like that. There's a lot of ones that are not named MPW that are a lot higher quality. You have all the real. I mean, any REIT you could take Realty Income, Vici, Agree Realty. There's other ones. There's a lot of companies that are sensitive to interest
Realty
rates
Income.
that aren't called MPW.
But how many of them are 60 to 70% undervalued?
I mean, that's debatable. That's not that's not some objective fact that it's 60 to 70% undervalued.
It's the picture becomes
okay.
clear.
Okay, so isn't Intel's trading below its
that's not related
value.
to the all right, so that's a red herring. You can't just bring up Intel.
No, but I'm saying your argument is that it's just too cheap to ignore. Okay, maybe below its book value, maybe whatever portion below its book value. That doesn't mean a company's cheap and that it makes it a good buy just because it's so undervalued that it's like.
So
your only reason for buying it is pretty much valuation.
The asset sales because they have sold a few groups of assets recently and entered joint ventures, sold equity in their assets directly. Those have all validated that the fair value of their buildings and land, it's just buildings and land, are actually above what the book value is because they've been depreciating on the books. So in actuality, MPW may be a lot more valuable than it actually seems on the surface. We're just assuming book value because offsetting penalties, there's been some write-downs relating to non-real estate assets, but that's just my personal take. You have three.
So they're selling their buildings. Aren't they going to bring in less revenue then, since they're selling their buildings? Like that's less.
Yeah,
that's less tenants that they can have for rent.
It'll somewhat reduce their FFO going forward. Yeah,
there is some mitigating.
So you're really your thesis is literally that it's just a group of buildings that's worth more than what you're paying for it. No,
correct. Yes.
I mean that I don't know how that's not a cigar, but that's literally the definition of.
I didn't say it wasn't a cigar.
Just an absolute value trap cigar, but falling knife. Let's throw all those words in there.
Fake investment.
But if the value's real, it's not a trap, right? Like
I feel like even the value is debatable though. Have they sold Steward buildings?
Utah used to be Steward, but it's not Steward anymore. But that was before they filed.
Because I feel like the Steward buildings are where it's debatable because, like I said, who's going to want to buy something that can't really...
Actually, we're already seeing that North Florida is worth quite a lot.
Maybe we should give an update on the bankruptcy. I feel like I suspect people might not be really.
I'm not stopping you. I'm not stopping you.
So there's 2 master leases. The ones in Massachusetts, them hospital sales have been a disaster, but it seems that Ed and the team did some master work on that because they put them in, all of them into a joint venture, sold 50% of that interest to Macquarie, and then they got tons of secured debt against it. So they've imploded, but they pretty much took all that money out already. So that was very fortunate in hindsight. And now we started to get results. So 3 hospitals in Florida. I looked up like the lease base, and it was something like 255 million, I think it was. And now they've got a stalking horse bid for just them 3 hospitals, including the operations. I think it was $435 million.
Yes, so, 435.
There's some of these hospitals are selling for quite a lot, and there's 5 more which have. In fact, there's 1 hospital in Florida that nearly has a lease base bigger than all 3 of them. So I'm very curious to see what that goes for. In fact, since our last on the show, I feel like the thesis has been playing out almost exactly as predicted, and the timeline. It's been.
When's the last time you were on the show? Like 2 months ago?
Yeah, I feel like
it was. I think it was right after Q1 earnings, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, 2 to 3 months, maybe.
I hate to, put a bit of a rainstorm on your party here, but if we look at the 1 month performance of Realty Income compared to MPW, it is outperforming about 3%. I don't want to put you guys in your place, but I kind of had to. By the way, Dan, that's an amazing comment.
Compared to Celsius. Yeah, today.
Oh yeah, we need Matt on here. I totally love that. He's a first responder, so according to some people's logic, we can't really back him.
Some people buy Celsius, others buy poverty REITs. We'll see which one works out better, I guess.
Others buy Crocs. So real.
Yeah, it's true. Some of us buy Clove, some of us buy High Tide. You know,
Some of us buy Starbucks. Blake asked another kind of sequel question. He said, "Sure, they are undervalued if they were fit to be liquidated, but how is their price/cash flow? AFFO, basically."
Let's see. AFFO was it 23 cents here this quarter?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's going to be, well, it'll probably be higher after Steward, I would think, because right now that's the accounting is cash basis for Steward and Prospect, and so I don't think they're counting it the same. But if we just assumed, like for the sake of argument, that it's 23 to 25 cents, so they're trading for what, 4.5, 5 times their FFO, and normal is usually quite a lot higher. I think 12 times. Is that more normal, if I'm remembering right?
Normal is a lot of a better business though too. Like it's you know, is another thing.
If everything was normal, we wouldn't have this opportunity. That's for sure.
Do you know if they're gonna liquidate? Like what if they just choose to keep running the business? Like what happens to your, like if they just choose to keep running the business normally, if they're selling buildings, that lowers their FFO, and doesn't it become, I guess, like it's not worth as much if they're not bringing in as much revenue or profits? No.
Well, you got to remember, what are they going to do with the cash that they're bringing in? It doesn't just disappear. It's going to pay down debt.
They have debt and they have debt to pay off, and dividends. They have dividends to pay as well.
Well, not too much dividends now, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm not sure how well the REIT rules even particularly work on what they have to pay out anyway. It seems to be very hard to get like a definitive answer. And like maybe there's like certain things that are exempt from the calculation of that 90% income test that's got to be paid out.
You're going through all wouldn't you just like prefer to buy like something like that you don't need to go through all this hassle for? Like what's the payoff going to be here?
No.
Well, if he gets the return that he's expecting, it'll have brought him from like roughly 30K range net worth to 6-figure net worth. So I think he has quite a lot to gain, actually. And that's why
Tesla investors expect that too, though. Like, you know, like it can go.
Well done. I guess.
Tesla investors say,
cars are a lot more fun
it's like 1,500 in like 5 years. Like you could say, oh, your MPW price target's whatever, but like how realistic is that based on like what's happening? Like I feel like it's very
it's validated. Again, like our assumptions about the assets have been validated by the actual sales in the app that they've done on those assets. And so it stands to reason that if those things are validated, that our expectations on the value are probably closer to correct than incorrect. They could be a little bit off, but I think there's enough margin of safety especially for Jordan's cost basis, that, you know, I don't think he's going to do. I mean, I think he's already got quite a solid return on what he's put in so far. Correct me.
He's going to be a rich twink. That's what he's going to be. A rich twink, as one would say.
Where's that Yusuf Brad Muffin? I don't know. Maybe he's there in the background somewhere. Not talking.
But what is the debt? This factors in the debt too.
Does what factor in the debt? No, when we talk about the value, we're talking about book value, which is net asset value, which factors in the assets.
Yeah. Okay, so but you're talking about price to book value. They still have a load of debt.
Yeah,
so like if they were to go hypothetically, if they were to go bankrupt, they have to pay off their debt, and then you get money after. So the return would be lower if you have to pay off all the debt. No,
the book value factors in the debt already. Like it's net of debt. Like
okay.
Yeah. Book value, like if a company has a lot of debt, like they'll have negative book value. You can, like Starbucks, for example, in terms of tangible book value, it's negative. So.
Except the debt is fun with Starbucks. It's not fun with MPW.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guess I'll put this out there as well. So part of the bankruptcy, the crown jewel asset was meant to be the stewardship, which is like what, like manages all the doctors for the hospitals and stuff. And there's some I'm not too sure because it's the documents was like 235 million it sold for, but I'm not sure if the Massachusetts part. I don't know, because when it was like a press release, it so randomly said this would like allow the doctors in Massachusetts to continue caring for the patients, but I'm not sure if they've split like the stewardship up. I feel like that's a very important part of everything. I still can't really figure that out. I don't know if anyone knows anything on that.
Yeah, I mean, Abe on the Yahoo message board is at least acting like he knows that they've split it up.
Well,
yeah,
it's a pumper, so
yeah, he is a pumper. So we have to be a little bit careful with just taking anything he says.
Hey, he's been right before.
We need.
I see you there, Stabula. That Stabula wall, dude. We're gonna crush your wall, bro.
I don't know what he said.
Anyway,
it might be really bad.
Hey, Beater, you need to upgrade. You have a Beater mic. You need to get a better mic.
Runs in the family of MPW.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, it would just get repossessed, and then they won't replace it. People could die.
Beater is gone. Let's see. Dan does bring up a great point here that Starbucks is crushing MPW on the 5-day chart and the 5-year chart too. I don't want to brag, but like we're only down 5%. You guys are down like 50%. I mean, there are levels to cigar butt investing, so that's okay.
I'm up on Starbucks. I'm up.
I will say, all right,
I am
so
too,
I will say that the
8%.
5-year chart only matters if you bought it 5 years ago. Generally,
actually,
that's too revolutionary.
Yeah.
5-year chart defines all investments. It's the
That's right, Fiscal. You're kind of contradicting some words that you were saying earlier on the channel's history. You know, if the 5-year chart isn't up, what's the reason for owning it? You know?
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know what the best method of investing is if you compare the 5-year chart of a stock compared to the S&P 500, and then say, hey, this stock doesn't beat the S&P 500 over the last 5 years. I'll just buy the S&P 500.
I wonder who said that, Fiscal. I wonder who said that.
I don't know. Some say that somebody on Twitter said that.
A guy named Finance, potentially a guy named Finance.
I never heard of her.
Pulling one out of my book there. I'm proud of that. Yeah, Fiscal, what was your reaction to the Starbucks news this week?
The CEO thing. Yeah. Gangster move, to be honest.
I know. That's like, what other company can do that? I know, there's not much, I don't know who. It's basically like if MPW were to go to Vici and take Ed.
I was going to say that.
I know.
Honestly, if Ed Aldag retired, left, or died, I would sell immediately.
Really?
He's done some masterful moves. Contrary to what the stock price looks like.
So what was the controversy around him? Because I always see people bitching about him.
What, Ed Aldag?
Yeah, a lot of people hate him, right?
I think that's because I think that's because like they don't realize like just how good he is at what he does with MPW.
Yeah.
What's the deal with his private jets? What's the deal with his private jets?
His private jets. Yeah. I heard that his private jets and Ralph De La Torre's yacht are the reason for all the problems that are happening right now.
Who's Ralph De La Torre? Is he like
he's steward
up there? Oh, I see.
Yeah, he has a yacht. Yeah.
He should be living in an apartment right now in New York City at low cost.
Next month he's going in front of the Senate, isn't there?
Yeah. Some people think that actually now, of course, you guys know the shorts, Viceroy, Hedgeye, etc. By the way, speaking of the shorts, Hedgeye took MPW off their short list.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
that. It's off their list of stocks.
Active short list.
for safety reasons, because some certain members of the community were gonna release some information. Let's just not say should be public. A few pizzas showing up to the house of the Hedgeye executives.
Yeah, but yeah, they took it off the short list. Now they've been claiming up and down that MPW itself is a fraudulent company, and basically that's defamation at least according to MPW's lawyers, which is kind of funny. But actually, I do believe that there could be something to that argument with Stewart, because it just seems like there's a lot of weird stuff in Stewart. Wouldn't you agree, Jordan?
Yeah, there's some weird things. There's some weird things.
Some ghost stories, or what's going on here?
It's just a lot of this. So, of course, that Ralph guy that I mentioned earlier, one of the things he's done within the last few years is he took out a giant dividend from Stewart. Like, it was over $100 million in cash. And
all for him?
Yeah, all for him. And now, of course, with Stewart kind of being in financial trouble, some people think that he just, took that, even though it may have been destructive to the business. And I don't know if that actually violates any law, because it is a privately held company. Like, there's no Stewart shareholders, at least not on any public exchanges. It's all held by private individuals. So it might be perfectly legal for him to have done that, but it certainly isn't a good look when you take out $100 million and then not too long after, your company can't pay vendors for supplies. Some lady died in childbirth at one of their hospitals not long ago. And also, like, you're suddenly unable to like make rent and things like that. It just doesn't look good. It's bad optics.
Oh man.
And I just remembered as well that they were like paying this like spy company to like spy on one of like the short sellers.
Wait, so you're telling me MPW's like, okay, so when was this taking out of $100 million?
So this was Stewart, not MPW.
Stewart.
Yeah.
No, but Stewart, when did he do it though?
He bought a yacht apparently.
It was years ago,
before COVID.
Actually, doesn't he have 2 yachts? I can't remember.
I think he does have 2. There was an article.
Yeah. But this is the tenant that's in bankruptcy. This is not MPW themselves. But the argument that the shorts have been making is not only is Stewart fraudulent, but also that MPW is basically just a division of Stewart and is also fraudulent. But the way they're arguing in court right now, it doesn't seem like they're on the same side. So I think that's all been kind of debunked by this point.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, the Stewart lawyers have proper been going after MPW.
I'm just saying this type of buffoonery would not happen at Crocs, Starbucks.
That's I don't know.
True. Starbucks is in some controversy right now for the you know what company's actually done some wild things is Disney. Have you guys seen what's going on with Disney and the parks? Essentially, what happened with like the allergic reaction?
Oh wait, yeah, I did see
that.
that.
That's bad. Like that's actually, I feel bad.
Really bad. They had they had Disney Plus, so the TOS.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Well
so
done.
Essentially, yeah. For people that don't know, what happened is like some guy, there was cross contamination, and I actually really feel bad because I have a peanut allergy myself, which is why you guys should become channel members right now in sympathy. But essentially, you gotta, whenever I go somewhere, like I gotta be that guy like that asks, hey, I have a nut allergy, just tell the cook, right? So essentially they didn't properly apparently communicate that with Disney, and the guy had an allergic reaction and died from what I heard. And then, but apparently this is the wild part. Disney is not held legally liable because the Disney Plus agreement, the Disney Plus contractual agreement that you have to sign if you're going to get it, which is absolutely insane. It's like, I actually feel bad.
Yep.
You're wrong about that. It's like they, in the terms of service, say that you have to go to arbitration and have an arbiter rather than a judge and trial. So it's kind of like out of court.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so because they pay the arbiter probably and bring the arbiter all the business, they are at an advantage, and that's the controversy.
Yeah, arbitration generally isn't a good deal for the person that is like trying to bring the action, basically.
Not good for Disney though, in a time where sentiment is kind of an. I still think Disney's going to be fine. I watched the Deadpool movie this week.
Honestly, I hope it hits Disney's share price a little bit so I can get some more cheap.
I'd be
No,
fine with that.
I think it's very cheap here. It's very compelling to me. I've been thinking about re-entering under 90 because the reason I sold is kind of busted. I said a content drought, and then they dropped like 3 heat movies, and then I'm like, oh.
And now they got a bunch of good ones
happened.
coming out, like 26 and 25. Like they got the Avengers Secret Wars.
And
movie
like I
that's
said,
coming out.
like they're still reinvesting into parks. You know, a very profitable business. I think they're going to have more parks. Obviously, in 10 years, it's going to be higher prices. It's going to be more movies, more content. The streaming is going to be bigger, hopefully.
Cigar
and I
about
think
common
it's
ground
impact-
right now. MPW kills people with Stewart, or it doesn't take liability. And Disney, they have people die from crocodiles at their resorts and peanut allergies. So we're all morally good investors.
We have this one needs to be read.
Edit MPW is not usually taking shareholders at the hand and telling them exactly how AI is going to save their value. Upsets quite a few people.
Imagine.
Yep, that's the bear case.
What about that lady with the southern accent that works there? You know who I mean?
Yeah.
Rosa
Hooper or something. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Rosa Hooper.
Vividly.
Yeah, I know who you're talking. She's always on the earnings calls. Yeah.
She's like, Ebadon was 3.
Yeah.
Wow, your mic is very fucking loud, Peter. I'll be honest. Very loud.
This is the 3rd mic.
Oh my god.
Wow, apparently he's using a toaster right now. It sounds like he's using a toaster.
It sounds like he's got like the gain turned up on the Windows settings.
Yeah. Try talking like 10 feet away from it and see how it goes.
I feel like we need to like state because we don't. I don't feel like we have any proper MPW bears here. It's the problem. So I almost feel like I need to be.
Okay, so her name. I think it's Rosa Hooper is the one you're thinking of.
Rosa Hooper. I'm looking up a picture of her.
Senior Vice President of Operations. It would make sense why she's talking about all that stuff on the earnings calls. Yeah. I was thinking Rosalind. I think I was confusing her first name with Rosalind Brewer because they have a similar first name. Yeah.
Birmingham, Alabama. What do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked exactly how I had imagined she looked.
Oh, you know what's really funny? There was a guy going off in my comments not long ago saying, "This is the last time I ever buy an Alabama-based company, never again." And I'm like, why? Do their accents annoy you on the and I don't understand why the fact they're based in Alabama is making him so upset, but apparently it was.
All I'm saying is, if
Yeah,
you've ever
Stibulo, you got that cell wall?
A what?
I see that cell wall in your background.
Oh yeah. Cell wall, $5. We're getting past $5.
Good.
PW shareholders bonding over being cheap. I love it.
By the way, anyone in the chat, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to put on my wall in the back. So suggestions.
Put the intelligent investor back there in like a plant, and you'll be fine.
Just get a house plant and put the intelligent investor next to it.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Okay.
You should put a Christmas tree back there during Christmas.
You have to put a painting of a grave and put Intel Walgreens in there. You know.
Actually, I did that. That was one of my PayPal thumbnails because everybody was telling me it was a dead business. So, I put PayPal like on a gravestone. It was what was it?
Bring the Undertaker.
2003 to like 2023 or whatever. Yeah, it's funny. Wasn't even old enough to buy a beer and it died.
There we go. Ari is going full in MPW. Sell the Amazon.
Good idea, bro.
You join the cult, Aria. It's nice in here. We have really good Kool-Aid.
Whoa.
Yo, this guy, Stabula, by the way, he spends like 6 hours a day trolling MPW Yahoo. Talk about that, bro.
I'm not too active on the Yahoo forums. Stabula, what have you been up to on
I literally
Yahoo?
woke up and there's like 15 posts of you trolling.
No,
he doesn't know what you're talking about. I don't think he doesn't know what you're
Can we talk about the negatives? This roundtable is going to crap. We're not talking about the actual negatives.
I'm not. My thesis is Bob is a pussy, bro.
Oh,
no, BT, you don't know anything. You pretty much like.
This is not a roundtable. The roundtable is gone. This is now. I don't even know
what
we're
a
doing.
nasty conversation.
Wow,
what foul language. a giant poster of Joseph Carlson.
Yeah,
That's
but
your
no,
warning, Peter. One more
Everybody-
time, and I
everybody
will
just
banish
chill,
you.
okay? Just chill.
Who is Rob?
Wow, what an angry man!
Who is that? Am I like
Rob from Hedgeye?
Yeah.
He's one of
Oh,
the guys that short the.
yeah, I don't know
stock,
who that is.
So he's he's a donkey, and he's the guy that's been saying, well, one of the guys that's been saying that the company is a fraud. He promised, by the way, Hedgeye subscribers that MPW would go to 0, and this last week they took them off the short selling list. I guess they're not going to 0 anymore.
After a war, in
it was a war. They did their best to make it go to 0, but they didn't. So it seems like
I can't imagine Rob promising a
Oh.
0. It doesn't seem like him.
What was that?
He's normally very Rob's normally very careful with his words. I couldn't imagine him promising a 0.
Yep. Now, funny thing, the stock last time the short interest data came out, it was 37% sold short. What's going to happen to all of those poor people?
Wow.
Well, Florida's looking good. There's going to be a day where they wake up and their portfolio is fisted by 20%.
We love Florida and we love fisting. We do. Great. You look at
That's
Florida, and ever since I come into Florida, it's great things, nothing but good things. And now, these nasty people, they want to take Florida away.
Now, I wouldn't get in just for the prospect of a short squeeze. It's possible that the shorts will slowly get out over time, and it won't just be like a rush to the exit. But I think those people covering their positions will help the share price for sure.
So do you guys want to talk about the bull thesis or bear thesis? I apologize, Jordan. I know you wanted to get to that. What's your bear thesis with your high conviction into the company?
Well, it's not my bear thesis. I'm just saying what
I know
bear
a bear
is.
thesis.
So okay, right. So when I was talking about the Massachusetts hospitals and that they've basically just been written off due to the secured financing on them, part of the argument is kind of a lot of other hospitals and their operators are basically the same, but it's MPT has like supported them from going under. So that's kind of the bear thesis. Like Priory, them hospitals in the UK, well, they're not really hospitals like you'd think. A lot of them are like behavioural units and like rehabilitation, stuff like that. But part of it would be like they've massively overpaid, like crazy overpayment for these. And the bear thesis is kind of like it's all been set up to like pump up their compensation because they have like certain metrics on what they're compensated, like management. So they'll buy anything is kind of the thing. And for these type of leases, the operator women are like maintain the hospitals. So it's like they let the operator like destroy the properties, not put any capex into it, like let all like the property tax pile up, and then they just go bankrupt like Stewart. Like the bear thesis is kind of like there's like loads of these. Priory it's like I think the one they've been talking about recently. Well, outside of Prospect and Stewart, but there'd be like a line of them behind it. Like Rob Simone anyway, he's got like a rough market value on like different properties owned by different operators. If you go down them, if to be fair, he did get the Massachusetts one right. He called that one a 0. He did, but he's got a load of them written down like 80%.
Yeah,
so
the
I think this is 0.
Massachusetts was dog shit, and the rest of this Stewart, the bear thesis is they're going to go to shit too. If that happens, we're wrecked, gentlemen. I'm just saying. It doesn't look like it will. We had the positive bid, the stock.
Oh, Florida.
Stalking horse, you know, but
yeah,
that's the bear thesis, you know.
Yeah. Now, yeah, but literally, Rob will go through everything that MPW owns and just arbitrarily almost call all of it like, oh, it's overvalued by 80% or they overpaid by X amount. But
in fact, should I send Ryan like the sheet where he's written everything down, and you just see how many?
Do it.
Like, I couldn't find it.
You want me to find it? I know where it is.
Stabula, you're still 100% in MPW, right?
Not anymore.
Oh, you didn't post in the share my buy segment. That's unreal.
didn't you just buy like a few shares of Estee Lauder or something though?
No, I got rid of that as well now.
Oh, the Joseph Carlson crossplay.
I still like Estee Lauder. I'm convinced that it's got to be undervalued, but I don't know. I keep thinking about that one. That one keeps coming back to me. It's got to be undervalued. I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, but I need to get you that PDF. Unless Beta's got it. He said he might have it.
Yeah. I'll link you. I know where it is.
Yeah. Or maybe to send it to him in a DM, maybe.
So why couldn't Abe
just have any write-downs he's got?
So why couldn't Abe come on, Fiscal? I was looking forward to meeting this mysterious figure.
I don't know. He stopped responding to my DMs on Twitter.
Is he just trying to build his aura up? Like he's
like a Dragon Ball Z character?
I can respect that. Yeah, he's like he's just like going off the grid. He's trying.
I think he thinks he's the next Rowan Kitty in some ways.
That guy has been on that Yahoo board like 24/7 for like the past 2 years. It's always funny because Rob will like go on the Yahoo board, and
I think we need Dividend Dude to start trolling him on Twitter to get him really.
I think this is actually too like I don't know how else to say. I think you guys are like too deep in. I'm not gonna lie. Like even if you have that,
I was going to ask this question.
That's just like going on. I don't know. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's
the reason I go
a little bit excessive. I don't know. You do your research
got, like, 50
and then
people looking for news, and they put it on there first, so you don't have to search for it yourself.
I think
it's Seeking Alpha boards. By the way, we have Dividend Dude on Seeking Alpha, and he tells all the people to write negative articles about them. Fiscal. I responded to your message.
Is that why? Because today an article just randomly came out. Very bad news from MPW, and it's like I'm sure the guy doesn't have Dickie.
Oh, dude, it's that one guy. Yeah.
Like I'm sure he doesn't have anything that's actually new to any of us.
MPW.
But
I got it.
Yeah.
It's like some guy who's like 25 who says he's like a CFK.
Very bad news for Medical Properties Trust.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's very bad news. The guy doesn't realize that the actual investors are like actually reading documents from the bankruptcy and like actually listening to like we're dialing into the hearing.
Let me just read. Can I read the headlines for you guys? You guys want to hear the headlines?
Sure.
Okay. Number 1, MPW will lose ownership in its Steward hospitals in Massachusetts. Thoughts?
It's true. We got robbed.
Okay.
It already happened. Yeah.
All right. Number 2, another dividend cut coupled potential share issuances. So basically dilution plus a dividend cut.
No dilution.
Probably won't be issuing shares. No. I mean, they might do a stock dividend, but I'm starting to think they won't.
And then he talks about the bright side. Bro, this is the shortest article I've ever seen in my life. What?
It's probably written by a bot.
No, it's actually like 2. This is like very short. But yeah, he started off by saying he's a bag holder, so that's interesting.
Fraser Perry wrote it. It's short.
That was a very short article, though.
If you're down, like you're gonna write a salty article, you know.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I bought it $20. This is the worst stock ever. Well, that just goes to show that what you pay matters. Oh, here's the.
By the way, speaking of prices, what you pay, values, what you get, Fiscal. You're becoming best boys with Dividend Dude's op, Paul Gabriel. Dividend Dude and Beater's op, dude. You're making enemies on Twitter.
My op. I mean, I think I don't know.
You think he's not very smart at all?
I mean, look, he's
fine. I don't see it. I mean, like I think some of the stuff is a little. Some of the valuation models are a little too service level, and everyone has their mistakes, right? He's not.
He's over getting married. I can't say congratulations without getting criticized.
Fiscal, I thought that custom the congratulations message. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any reason to not congratulate somebody like possibly during one of the happiest times in their life. So.
Yeah, only Kamari would prey on somebody's downfall like that.
She was a single mom, so Kamara would have been like, "What you doing? No single mom."
No inappropriate sexual behaviors. That's an all-time quote.
Reduce risky sexual behaviors. No.
Here's the Hedgeye thing that Stabulo sent over. So if
if we go to like the first line, so non-MAM steward assets, so that's the assets outside of Massachusetts. So on the high side of gross market value, we've got 1.062. So 1,062 million is on the high side.
All right,
low side,
so
700 million. But the Florida hospitals are nearly like chopping in half, like the lowest, man. That's just 3 of the hospitals.
Who made this article?
This is like the head there, I guess.
Yeah, this was Rob Simone from Hedgeye. He's
The
just
shorts?
Like
Yeah.
Wait, the short. Oh shoot! What? Okay, so they estimate 7.6 billion of real estate value. That's like okay, interesting.
Yeah. Right.
Now
Which the reason that's
half.
bad is because that's less than the 10 billion that they had in debt at the time.
Yeah, I see 11. It says 11 here, but yeah, I guess it's so 7.6 is like on the low end, right? You guys think it's way more?
It's below the low end. It's like it's basically laughable is our point. Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just like you guys kind of are buying a group of buildings.
Quote of the year. Quote of the year.
That is literally the definition of what a REIT is. Yes.
No,
and their cash flow.
But the thesis is different. It's for you guys are buying it for the group of buildings. You don't care about
what do you know?
Okay, no, bro. It's not just buildings.
What do you buy these from dividend, dude?
No.
No, like, am I wrong? You guys have your thesis is on the sale.
They're about to re-tenant Florida. By 2025, their FFO is going to double, or like at least.
All right, how does that make any sense if they're selling buildings?
That's delusional.
They're not selling that much, bro.
Dude, they're selling buildings. They're going to have less places to collect rent. Are they going to increase their prices by 150% or something? What are you talking about?
Okay, it's not a 2x. It's a 1.8x, bro. It's just shave off a little, you know?
If you're selling buildings, you have less rent. There's going to be less rent that they collect. I don't think price increases.
I know a REIT that isn't selling buildings.
I mean, the amount they bring in is more than likely going to go down unless they increase their prices that much, which I don't think they can do, especially with Stewart. It's not a good situation.
The FFO is temporarily depressed by the Stewart situation, and whichever buildings of that they keep will have new operators after the Chapter 11 is done, which will raise their FFO back.
Yeah, like Orlando Health, they're about to.
But you got to remember also that they are getting paid rent during the bankruptcy, so it should be
not all.
FFO.
But it's on cash basis accounting, so it may not be counting in the same.
They're not getting paid all the rent.
What are you guys gonna do during monkeypox?
No, there's no way. Look at their FFO. There's like they're not getting paid all of it. They're getting paid some.
Vichi's getting paid all their FFO.
To me, it just looks like a complete mess. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's just.
You never looked at it. You never looked at it.
I mean, I've done. I've like.
No, you've not done
if I could give it a look right now, first of all, I wouldn't even buy it at the start because I'm not buying any real estate. Like
I do what dividend would do. Go.
What about Vici?
No, that's not what I would do because I don't own any real estate. I don't have Vici.
What?
I wouldn't even look at it.
Why?
I sold Vici like.
Oh, I forgot you did sell Vici. How dare you? How dare you, sir? How dare you?
You know, Vici was amazing though.
Honestly, Vici is amazing. I'm the last soldier here.
No, I think it's fine. I'm not into real estate, utilities, airlines, stuff like that. I'm done with real estate. Like in general, like every single real estate stock.
Was it diluting?
You got body bagged by Vici.
No, I just didn't feel the need to own it when there was other stocks that I think are higher quality. That are good stocks that I could buy with that money.
Vici's the highest quality of everything. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Except Starbucks. My bad. Venti Vici Vici.
Hey, I'd rather.
I still can't believe that comment though, where it was like, "But you're just buying lands and buildings."
That's the thesis, though. Is that no? But like that's your guys' thesis. It's that the buildings are worth more than what it's selling for.
Right.
Yeah. So effectively your thesis is that you're buying a group of buildings that's more expensive. That like you're paying
that's worth more than the stock price. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thesis. I'm right. So you're buying a group of buildings. It's right. That's it.
anytime you buy a REIT, you are buying a group of buildings.
No,
And
but
Yeah, it's just like.
but other parts,
another
you
thing
guys
in
are.
the
But
comment.
when people buy like an Agree Realty or like a Vici,
Oh, they're not
it's about
buying
the
land and
business. It's
buildings.
not about the group of buildings.
And
The
Ed
difference is-
Petoniak,
what is that
about the
business?
group of
business is
buildings.
a group of buildings. The business is
What
literally
is the
buying a
business
group
then?
of
No, but
buildings
you
and
guys,
renting it out.
no,
That's what a
the
REIT
difference,
is.
the difference comes where what your thesis is. Your thesis is about the group of buildings. Nobody's buying Vici saying, "Oh, the buildings are worth more than the current share price, so that's why I'm going to buy it." They buy it because of the business, the growth that the business is going to have, and
But what is the
acquiring more
business
buildings, the
though?
pricing power, the
Or,
dividend.
like,
They're
what?
buying it for that
The
reason.
pricing
You're not
power.
buying
Ed
it. for that
Petoniak.
reason.
No.
What do you mean, no?
What's the
How-
MPW
that's
share that we
okay,
could
whatever.
get?
Does
That-
VG have Ed
You're not
Petoniak?
even close to being an MPW.
We did
guy,
it, Rob
really.
Simone.
You're like,
I would like to
we've
hear a
seen
counter
way
argument,
worse.
please.
We've
I
seen
would
way
Literally,
like to
worse.
hear like
every single REIT out there grows the exact same way. If debt's cheap, they use that, and if their share price is appropriately high, they use dilution. That's how REITs grow. So
yeah, I know.
it's literally just the buildings and land. Like there's not like some organic growth driver in one REIT versus
Yes,
another.
I know that's what it is, but I'm just saying the reason you guys are buying it is because the buildings are worth
Yes.
more.
Anybody that's buying a REIT for any other reason is a fucking moron, in my opinion.
How? That's just not
Your
true.
opinion.
So if you buy an Agree Realty, a Vici, or Realty Income for the business and
But
for
what
the
is
long-term
business?
growth,
If you
growth
look,
trajectory of the AFFO per
I know-
share and
I
of
know
the
for a
dividend, how
fact-
is that being an idiot?
I know for a fact that Jordan will agree with me on this. If you're not buying REITs dirt cheap, you're making an error.
Okay, well, I just
Well,
don't agree with that
I
at
don't
all.
know, but
I just
that
don't
was
agree
one
with
of
that at
my
all.
favorites. But
And
I
that's
just-
it's because the whole business model is super interest rate sensitive. So if you're buying REITs when interest rates are super, super low and they're loading up on cheap debt, and that debt has to be refinanced in 5 years, and you don't know what interest rates are going to do, but there is a good chance it's going to be higher in 5 years if it's at zero like it was like 5 years ago.
You're oversimplifying it, in my opinion. There's some REITs like Vici where the properties they own are very unique properties with a lot more room
Yeah, and they're
for
exposed
increasing
to
rent.
gambling.
There's different situations with different REITs, or like Agree Realty where the tenants are higher,
What if
where the
people
tenants
stop
are more higher
gambling?
quality.
There's no Vici,
Like,
bro.
they're higher quality. So
MPTV
there's
got some
differences.
similarities,
There's
though.
differences in the different real estate, or like it's smaller so it can grow faster. It's more room to grow. There's different things like that.
So
I'm just saying the reason you guys are buying
bad
it is for the
and
value of the
casinos are good
buildings.
because they're more unique than hospitals.
What?
Yes.
So
It's
casinos are
And
better
Ed
because they're
Petoniak.
more unique. They're more unique than hospitals, so they're
Well, it's not
better.
just casinos. Have you seen the buildings themselves? They're like beautiful. There's no buildings in the world like
I
them.
mean, you took
Casinos have never gone bankrupt.
Frankly, they're some of the best buildings actually, and I've seen
mean,
a lot of buildings. And
there.
I love them, Barbo.
MPW has some pretty sexy looking hospitals. I mean,
No
Jordan's
offense,
been-
but people literally die at your buildings. People die for happiness at Vici buildings. If you know what I mean. And I've been thinking long and hard over here. I'm just sitting listening to you guys talk, and I think I found the perfect analogy for investing in MPW.
Sure.
Investing in MPW is when you're like 40 years old and you run into the really hot school slut back in the day. Run into her at like Walgreens or CVS perhaps.
Well, Walgreens has gone
And
bankrupt.
she used to be the finest thing ever. It was like Starbucks at 1:30. It was the best thing you could ever imagine. But let's just say she's been withered a little bit over the last couple of years, perhaps a fentanyl addiction, perhaps a crack pipe then and there. Let's just say she's not listening to the Cash Flow Kings every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. But, she may or may not have started to go in rehab again. And right now you may be buying at a really appealing time. The quality of the asset may be a little deteriorated, but there's still a lot more room for, some potentially, plastic surgery, more rehab, anything like that. That's my analogy.
Okay. So you're saying you got to put some capex into the former Class O?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You got to mental and, monetary. Mental and monetary.
But well, Ed would have given us some money for the capex, and she would have just spent it on God knows what.
Oh.
But all I know is we're buying it for the lands and buildings. I can't. Well, the land and the buildings. I can't
Buildings and
believe it.
land. Cool.
Yep.
I can't
You
wait
guys
for
are not
our,
differentiating. There's a very clear difference between MPW and other REITs and why somebody buys the different stocks. There's a clear distinction, and why I'm calling it a group of buildings. I'm not going to call Vici or Realty Income or Agree Realty a group of buildings because of that difference.
Also, I just remembered when you said that the buildings in Las Vegas for Vici are just like that important. They're that beautiful. They're like they're irreplaceable. And
yeah, the
that
business
kind of
is booming 24/7. And in Las Vegas, there's resorts, there's casinos. They own some of the best buildings in those places.
So
people are dying at MPW places.
So
a fact.
I guess the Massachusetts hospitals must have been that important. Like the state is taking over one of them with like eminent domain, so it must be very, very important as well. So
yeah, they literally robbed it.
What's MPW's rent collection rate right now? Do you guys know?
It must be high.
It's like 50%. If you're talking about like, I mean, honestly, the FFO was double last year.
So
that's crazy.
They have. I'm pretty sure it's 100% in the stabilized portfolio. Remember that they have one set of tenants, the non-steward, non-prospect ones, on regular accrual accounting, and they have prospect and steward on cash basis accounting. So I'm pretty sure that it's 100% or near 100% in the stabilized portion, the not steward part.
Basically. I'm pretty sure they got paid all the prospect rent as well. And they must
prospect also in the steward port. Well,
that dividend has been adjusted for all the rent that they're collecting from non-steward. Basically.
What do you mean?
It's been adjusted for the.
Yeah, that's when they cut it to 15.
Yeah. Okay.
Cents.
Oh yeah, from some of the sales, they did have it in a press release whenever it was done.
Great hospitals. The hospitals will be booming once again under a Trump administration. You saw monkeypox. They call it monkeypox. We love monkeys, not pox.
One thing I do want to say before I don't know like when it's going to end, but there is no way there's literally zero chance that Starbucks is $75 again. I just want to say that.
Okay, kid.
You're doomed.
You
know what you guys need to do? You need to get Jim Cramer on saying that Starbucks is back, baby.
Oh no! It's
wait till next quarter.
Oh, be quiet, Peter. You were
I'm not. Oh, scream.
I'm never selling Starbucks. It can go to $500 right now, and I wouldn't sell.
See, like that should
not.
I'll be honest. If Starbucks went above 120, I'm selling.
I trim
right now.
Starbucks is always a buy, no matter the price.
No,
I like that. I like that thinking, Jordan.
So in the next 12 months, is there a bigger chance of MPW going to $10 or $0? Thoughts?
I think it's 50-50.
I'm about.
I was gonna say 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah, it's more likely to go to $10. I don't think it's going to zero.
Whoa!
But to go to zero, it means that the properties were worth way less than that.
We have a channel member, everybody.
Nice.
Oh, we're gonna have to do that cooking competition. It looks like.
This guy shows
no, we need one more then. Fiscal, we
over.
need one more.
Over.
So I'll do the Trump dance. I can't play the YMCA. I'll do the Trump dance though. Wow, what a great guy, Andrew Marshall. You look at him twice and you think, is this guy gay? I don't know, but when you talk to him, he is indefinitely straight, and he's actually going to be a father soon. So he is spending $2 of baby formula on the Cash Flow Kings. That's great. We love Andrew. What a guy. What a great guy, actually. I know a lot
people
of
are saying great things about him.
People are saying great things about him. He's very handsome for both genders, if you know what I mean. Thank you, Andrew. I love you. But we need one more channel member, everybody, for pancake cooking competition.
I was the first channel member, right? Like the first.
You
were number one,
and you are the first channel member with the new bull badge icon too, which is
Nobody can ever take number one status away from you now.
Facts.
Dividend dudes made me want to go to Twitter exclusively now because of how stupid.
Oh my god!
Compared to YouTube.
I'm liking Twitter more than YouTube recently. Yeah.
YouTube has YouTube's algorithm been rear-ending you too, Dividend dude?
I have no idea. My focus is more on like Twitter and like Seeking Alpha articles. I'm planning on putting one out soon, hopefully.
On Paycom?
Another one. I already put one on Paycom. It's going to be on a.
Why are you doing an MPW one?
My strong buy rating still stands.
That's so ridiculous that they let you on Seeking Alpha. Just saying that.
They literally invited me. I got an email from
You're
them.
literally in high school. You're out here
Talk your
making
shit.
articles. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say, kid.
Hey, I'm just saying.
You drive a toaster.
Let's pull up the amount of views right now. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so my article has gotten a total of 3,829 reads so far, and that's in about a month. A little bit less than a month, and that's pretty good, I think. A lot of people
divide that by 5, and that's how much Beater's car is worth.
You'll write your English paper, bro, instead of just Seeking Alpha.
Some would say that they came for the.
All right, I mean, what articles have you written, bro?
I love this. I love this. Ebony dude's talking. Ebony dude's
so much money off my
heel art.
portfolio.
Yeah.
What? What'd you say? Did you say something?
You heard me.
I did not hear you.
Frankly, we didn't hear you. Your mic is very bad. This is
hey, how about how many members before we have a bench press contest?
Dividend. That's not fair. I hit 225 for the first time, and you're like, I got it for 3 reps. I mean, I could probably.
I mean, I'm only hitting bench once a week now, so I'm.
It's an excuse. I am too.
If anything, I'm probably losing progress.
I'd have to get another 2 bulks under me before it starts.
All right. How about 50 channel members? We do a bench press contest.
Okay, that's fair. That's
all
fair.
right. Cool. That'll be a while.
That'll be a while. It gives me enough time.
Unless our CAGR goes up, that compound annual growth rate.
Wait, I just want to say one more thing. Beater, just so you know, you said nobody wants to listen to my article as well. I'm just going to say that my article, I'm not saying about timing the market or anything, but it was published about a month ago. It's up. Paycom, since I iterated the strong buys, up 14%, while the S&P 500 is down 0.66%. So that's 15% of outperformance in 1 month. If you were to buy when I iterated that article, so I'm just saying it's done pretty well. So
I never said Paycom wasn't good. I agree, it's good. But I don't think
nobody wants to listen to me, right? I'm just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's true.
You had me almost kind of side-eyeing Paycom for a second there. I'll be honest. I think
it's still cheap. It's still cheap.
No, I'm gonna have to buy.
Lordy,
sell PayPal, put into Paycom.
that would be a fantastic move, actually.
No, Alex Chris is killing it as the CEO at PayPal. Yeah,
Chad Richardson is killing it. Paycom CEO.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, everybody's been telling us for the longest time that PayPal's dead. I don't think it's dead. I think we're seeing some signs of life.
I like PayPal. I actually don't hate it.
I was surprised by the most recent quarter. I put out. I literally apologized for my sentiment because the most recent quarter was very surprising to me. Active users grew, and so I don't think it's dead, but I don't think it's alive either. I think it's like.
Have you put an apology out for the Robinhood switch up yet?
I think I did too, like a while ago.
That's good.
I always do. I've been using Robinhood for over 3 months now.
And by the way, that gold card is
so good. Yes,
it's
I love it.
Yeah,
it's very nice.
It's credit.
I don't know if I'd buy their stock yet, but I definitely like using the app. I like the credit card, and if you book travel on there, 5% cash back on travel booked through their travel partner.
You get the 1% deposit boost and the 3% Roth match as well.
I wouldn't move my entire portfolio
it's
there, but I would. Oh, that's actually really interesting. I'll be honest.
It's 3% cash back. Yeah.
So the card, you just get it automatically though. You don't have to.
No. You have to say.
By the way, you remember that one day, Black Monday, when there was all that Schwab buffoonery where we couldn't get into.
When Commer got wrecked, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Bader dislikes Commer more than Dividend, dude. I like this.
So yeah, Robinhood didn't have any buffoonery. Everybody that had Robinhood accounts could still trade during the Black
Interactive brokers. They were also good.
Yeah, IBK. I've heard good things about IBKR. I do want to get an account.
I've seen that stock, by the way. They have a stock.
Oh yeah, I know they do. They do have a stock. Yeah, back in 2021, IBKR had like a 1.5% interest rate on margin. that's ridiculously good. If you were a degenerate and wanted to use a ton of leverage like Khmer, that was the time to do it, is when IBKR had 1.5% margin rates.
But you don't understand. He gets $10,000 a month.
That's true. That's true. And, Schwab charges 13% and Tesla yields 80%. And since 80% is higher than 13%, he's getting a great deal.
True.
Dan, I'm offer or not double D's. Dan, you mentioned a People's Elbow earlier, and I've been thinking. We get one more channel member tonight. I will do a flying People's Elbow on the couch over there, and I will point the camera towards it. So one more channel member tonight, I will be doing a flying People's Elbow off the top of the couch, and it will be legendary. That will be clipped a lot. So power's in your hands. Anything for $1, one could say. I'm not even making $1 off of it. If we're dividing it by 3, YouTube takes like half of it, which is stupid. 30 cents for a People's Elbow, but it's worth it at the end of the day. We are ending the near. I'll give us a 5-10 minute warning here, roughly. So if anybody has any last questions, comments, concerns, donations, money to give us, PayPal instant transfers, money wires, anything like that, you already know what to do. Oh, we got Nate the Carnivore, a favorite MPW shareholder on the channel, one of many. Low fees on margin rates. Well, we don't take margin here. We're real man's investors, to be fair. But that's good for some of us who like to live on the wild side of things, you could say.
Seems like Nate is bullish on Robinhood.
So, Stabula, what's in your portfolio these days?
CrowdStrike. That's it.
He literally day trades MPW. Remember that on earnings? Don't lie. Tell us what you did.
Why?
I feel like you guys have a love-hate relationship. I'm a little confused right now, but that's okay.
But Peter just uses me for like information. I'm just like, for information.
When?
I don't know. I post stuff, you read it, you're like, oh.
So
I'm not gonna lie, I'm lazy on research.
What's your percent allocation on MPW now, and what do you have that's not MPW though, Jordan?
It's classified now. Nobody knows.
It's 100%.
Is it still 100% MPW?
Yes.
Of course.
I hacked his computer, man.
So yeah,
I did buy a bit of Estee Lauder, but I don't know. I can't.
Was Estee Lauder the only thing that you did other than MPW lately, though?
And a bit of Applied Materials.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Vici?
I don't know. Oh yeah. I don't know. I keep changing my mind. That's the problem lately. Yeah. I've been pretty consistent for like month after month, but now I don't know. I keep changing my mind. I don't know why.
Okay. I mean, I'm still at about 3,500 MPW shares. It's not nearly 100%.
Fake cult leader.
Yeah. Jordan's supposed to be the new cult leader.
No, not me. We need a different cult. We can't have Fiscal because he don't buy MPW anymore. So
honestly,
we need a new cult leader, but we don't know who.
Good question from our guest last week, Leroy Skywalker. The SHE stand. Thoughts on MPW's 10 out of 100? Simply safe dividend rating.
Well,
I think that's fun.
I personally don't care at all about their dividend.
Yeah, nobody's investing in it nobody rational is investing in it for the dividend. Like, actually,
I mean, they might after Stewards resolved and they start increasing it again. But before that, I don't think anybody's or they shouldn't be. I keep telling people they shouldn't be buying it for the dividend, but every time I do a live stream on the earnings call, people come in and they're like, did they say anything about the dividend? It's like, dude, chill.
Super chat, and I'll consider answering that question, Yeah. So you gotta like gouge the people.
Yeah, there was that one guy in our Discord who was freaking out. And he sold out a little bit due to the dividend.
I don't think he did. I think that was Emery, wasn't it? No, I don't think he did sell out.
No, it was that guy in MPW.
I think the reason why was it was to do with that. So before I was saying about the stewardship and it selling for
235.
Yeah.
45.
It it almost read like it meant the entirety of the stewardship for like all the hospitals.
And then everyone thought Florida was going to go
That's
like
why it seemed like an
Massachusetts.
absolutely terrible deal.
Yeah, I think the
It
stock
made like
market
$1 billion
for it-
plus. Yeah. So
It brought
I'm just calling it right now. There'll be a day in August or September where it's going to be up like 30% in one day.
I mean, I
What,
buy
what's
that.
going to be up 30%?
Medical Properties Trust. No cap.
He said that this is going to be a
Wow,
day
you are
where-
way too old to be saying no
Haven't you
cap.
been saying PayPal to 120 for like months?
He changed
It's,
it every
it's
month.
working its way up.
Now it's
Alright,
MPW
I mean-
50.
He's a
I've
grower,
changed
not a
mine. What
shower.
did I change mine to? Oh, CrowdStrike 500. That was it, wasn't it?
What? There was a CrowdStrike to 500 beater era?
No. I've changed my name to that as like a bit of a meme.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so
If it happened,
CrowdStrike.
I wouldn't be surprised.
None of you are buying CrowdStrike, right? Please say
No, I'm
I've
not.
got some
And-
CrowdStrike.
It's a
You
pump
brought
around.
CrowdStrike. Oh my god.
Everybody,
How
this
much
is unprecedented.
I
Stabula,
just-
you do
I
have
just-
a fan that wants to join the show right
I
now.
wouldn't do.
It's the Stabula.
No,
Nice to Bill. I'm a big fan. That's the only reason I jumped on the show.
Oh man.
no.
What's going on, guys?
Stabula, how does it
Make
feel
sure
to
you
have,
mute dividend, dude.
to have fans?
Also, every time you put the capital S, lowercase.
Oh yeah,
You
no,
might be an
because I am
accountant.
the cultist.
All right. Well, my problem with CrowdStrike is the valuation is so high, and then I feel like the reputation's been a little tarnished. And in cybersecurity,
think
I feel like
about
that
Amazon,
matters.
then?
I feel like that matters a lot more. No, like they're still trading at like 60, 70 times earnings, and then you have the reputation.
I
damage.
definitely I don't understand the people who are buying CrowdStrike, but that's just me.
I feel like
Andrew is the former CrowdStrike owner.
Yeah,
actually.
I bought in the 90s. I sold when the news came out. I just think you don't know what the potential litigation is going to happen.
Well, you know, I heard that when they gave out those $10 Uber Eats cards, they added like a waiver so that you can't sue them if you take the $10.
Did they really?
That's a joke. I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm
say there's no way that holds up in court.
that wouldn't be hilarious if that was true though.
Yeah.
Could have slipped it in there. But I was reading something about like, so it's all governed by contracts, and it's apparently it doesn't have to be. You're not guaranteed a perfect service.
Yeah, but so there's nuance there though, because you're not guaranteed a perfect service, and CrowdStrike has insurance, right, for stuff going down. The issue is in both of those cases, generally in the contract language I've seen, it's related to hacks, not to you messing up your internal code. I just think for me, it's just a wait and see. If it's not that much of a reputational risk or hit, then you're going to get an opportunity with this company. If you're valuing it just based on like the forward PE, I think you're missing the point with this company and with the greater like cybersecurity megatrend. Like, so I don't think just like again saying it's a high PE is necessarily the way to go with it.
No,
but like me personally, I sold when the after the news broke.
Yeah, I think some companies are going to say, like, you know, they're supposed to be securing me and they can't even like, I don't know. I feel like some companies are going to switch. I genuinely do.
Yeah. Well,
if they don't, you know, then it'd be a bigger consider for me.
They blue screened. Who even knows how many millions of workstations? It even affected a few of the workstations where I work, and like in some instances, like a hack might have done less damage, right? Depending on how
you guys see all the social security numbers and credit cards are being hacked now, like a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, actually, funny thing you mentioned that. I got an alert that my SSN was scraped off the dark web because I have a lot of monitoring and stuff going on. So I'm locking everything down, freezing all my reports and everything.
MPW cult leader got to take serious precaution.
Yeah. You don't know if it's on the dark web, Fraser pairing might be coming for me.
What do you use to monitor that stuff?
So I have CreditWise from Capital One, and I have Discover also has a similar monitoring feature, as well as the bank I use for just my general checking and stuff like that. So like I've got it monitored from at least 3 different sources right now. and I also have accounts with all 3 major bureaus and keep an eye on it there. So yeah, in this world, because so many, like your cell phone company, every utility you sign up for, every company you have a brokerage with, every credit card company, every bank, and even a bunch of other just random companies out there have your info. If you ever try to rent an apartment, apply for a government grant or a student loan, your information goes through so many hands. It's basically inevitable that it's going to end up in some kind of a breach somewhere. Lock your shit down, people. It's like a condom for your credit.
I went on this like credit website. Look, it like shows you what your like credit score is for their system, and they've got like my bank balance to like the pound. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
He spends all of his money.
Yeah, I mean, in the
money in
US,
his bank, it's all on MPW.
The problem is that the stuff all ties to your social security number, which was never actually meant to be a secure thing. Like, in fact, there are like data scientists that have looked into basically the formula that's used to generate social security numbers, and if they know where you were born and the year you were born, they can actually figure out what your social security number is. So yeah, because it's based on like a predictable pattern. What? So hope you all sleep well at night.
What about that? There was like some data breach. Is that thing true?
The 2.9 billion records that got it seems like it is, because they breached a data aggregator. I forget the name of them, but I saw a pretty detailed video
for like people like us though, because if everyone's socials out there, no one's looking for me. They're only looking for me if like they got if they hacked like selective numbers.
Andrew, you were on episode 32.
So
you were on episode 32, maybe.
No, the thing is like, yeah, maybe they're not specifically targeting you, but if somebody else, like for example, already has your name and address from a different data breach, and then this one gives them another piece, and it gets sold in a list of things to people that they'll just kind of like en masse try to like sign up for credit cards or file fake tax returns in the names of people who they have all of the pieces that they need to do so. And that's where the problem is, because they're doing it. They're basically throwing everything they can at the wall for the people that they have a complete profile for, and they're seeing what sticks. Because if they get one fake tax return through,
right,
the federal government might accidentally send them like $4,000 before they realize that it's not really you. And they only have to get like 20 or 30 of those to stick per tax season, and they're making 6 figures, right? So they're they're heavily incentivized to just kind of spam out stuff for the people. And then if that works and it gets through, then they're like, oh, well, we know his information must be right because the fake tax return went through. Let me try to open a credit card and then max it out. Let me try to do this. Let me try to do that. Let me start calling banks and say I'm him and give them the social security number, see if I can get it.
You need more than that.
My name is John Marshall from Baltimore, Maryland. I am looking for a direct wire of $3,000.
So the problem, yeah. So actually, I did talk to the fraud department at one of the institutions I work with, and because there was some shenanigans going on, and we talked, and they basically did say, like, most of the time, if somebody calls in and it's not really the person, they can usually tell. She didn't tell me that it's because of the accent, but I felt like that's what she was implying.
That accent is like the wall between them and billions of dollars.
If you're really worried actually about that, most banks, I know mine does this, you can actually have them add a security password to your account. So if you call in or something, you have to say a phrase. I worked for Wells Fargo for a while, so I know these things. But like,
one thing, I'm actually terrified of forgetting.
My favorite pet is a dog. A dog.
But I think if you forget the password, you just have to go to a branch with photo ID to change it or something. So like, that's not that bad. So I might
just have yours be fiscal philosophy, and I promise I won't hack you.
I got ID'd at the movie theater this week. I can't. I was shocked. I went to watch Deadpool by myself, and they really ID'd me. It was like one of those managers that like takes the job super serious, though. So I mean, I could kind of respect it.
Ryan, I will tell you this. I'm at a point where like I'm actually like a slightly flattered when anybody cards me now.
Yes. I was gonna say the same thing. Like you're gonna get to a point where you're like, oh, you think I'm that young?
Because like seriously, like a few days ago I was like plucking grays like Homelander, and so if I get carded, I'm like, oh, thank you, young lady or young man, I appreciate that. And if it's young lady, it's like, are you 18?
Whoa, yeah, kick him off the show. Oh, it's just disgraceful.
I'm gonna get canceled for that one. Is that too weird?
I'm leaving. I'm not comfortable right now. We currently have 78 people on here from Twitter. One person
It just gets better
Twitter.
with time, just like me. The stream just gets better with time.
All right, that's
so. You guys are talking about MPW, I'm assuming.
Oh
yeah,
we
have
need Andrew's bear case. We've had really bad bear case. Yeah, well, it's not a bear case. It's an alternative.
I've just said like my thing with a case like this is bankruptcy court. I have some experience with it, not from my personal bankruptcy, but
I know a guy.
It can take a lot longer than originally anticipated, and you don't know. Like I don't know how the company's costs or like how they're in the interim until the assets are acquired by someone that lets you pay them rent. What the situation looks like for the company, and the question is how long could this drag on for?
So MPW has had multiple tenants in the past that have gone bankrupt, and in every single case, they've ended up making out quite well. Not much damage to MPW. They're really well insulated from tenant bankruptcies. It's just the only concern with Stewart is that it's so much bigger than all of the other ones that they've previously gone through. That I think that's what worries a lot of people, because it's bigger and more complex. And yes, the courts will probably take longer to sort it out because there's so many more assets and liabilities to like sort through. But where there is precedence for it, in the case of MPW, they've managed to come out pretty well.
Right.
So,
I mean, yeah, the nature of being a REIT is, for the most part, unless you're like a super, super high tier REIT, you're going to have tenants go bankrupt. It's going to happen.
Even Vici.
Yeah. There's only one where I think that would never happen, and that's PSTL. They're a REIT for the Postal Service. So I don't think, I hope their tenant never goes bankrupt. We're gonna have an issue.
They're renting to the federal government, basically.
Yeah.
That's not a bad gig. It's not a bad gig.
But the issue, I mean, there's obviously issues with it. Like your cap rates aren't as good and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a trade-off for the security and consistency.
With MPW, I've always said like, good luck, but like it's just not something I personally would get into because of like all the, I don't want to say noise, but all the current situation with the bankruptcy, with Stewart, with not knowing how long it's going to take, how big of a client they are, all of that. I'm not like, hey, stupid dogs. But I don't think I personally would want to buy it, but I don't like, I see your guys' point on it. The other thing that might make it last longer, I don't know if you'd talk about this. Like I had seen some things that people were concerned that there's like some real, I'd say malicious practices or things that Stewart did, which could make the bankruptcy take longer if there starts to be like a probe. But I could be wrong in that. I don't follow the bankruptcy courts on this case.
I think there's some like unsecured creditors committee or something, and they're going through stuff like that, I think.
Yeah. So
I keep seeing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So that's my thing with MPW. I don't know. Like I haven't done enough analysis to say like I think if they come out of bankruptcy and get tenants, they'll go to this dollar amount or anything. For me, it's kind of like it's just in the too hard bucket.
Yeah,
basically.
A lot of people, it's not for them.
I will say I short companies and I do not short MPW. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not.
MPW short.
Hey man, you should short it while it's still under $5 because it's going to zero anyway, so you're guaranteed to double your money.
50-50.
I honestly, I do. Maybe I could more, but I do feel like when I cover it, I do tell people that it's one, not for the faint of heart, and two, if you're just in it for the dividend, like it's going to take a while for that situation to get back to a stable and or growing dividend. So,
Wait,
yeah.
question: wasn't this originally a Kemmer stock?
It was, wasn't it?
I feel like he was in it when the price was a lot higher.
He was because he was dividend hunting. Yeah. And so his dividend hunting started with like MPW.
And he's just continued that practice of trying to chase higher and higher yields.
MPW good, Max, I'm telling you.
I literally originally noticed it because it had, dropped so much that the price dropped below book value. And I was like, this is really unusual for this type of thing. And it was like, oh, COVID would hurt some of their tenants and stuff. Okay, this is probably temporary. And then, of course, like I initially didn't realize how deep the rabbit hole really was. But it's been a fun journey. And it's the stock that sort of launched my channel. Like I've gotten probably at least 1,000 of the subscribers I have joined because of MPW videos. So if nothing else, at least I get that
sad world we live in.
Yeah.
Finance subscribers very loyal. They definitely won't.
Yeah. I would rather have as a speculative. I mean, I'd rather have high tide as a spec play.
I was talking about a speculative position the other day, and like the Discord I'm in, some people were not very happy with the idea of this as a speculative position. But one of the things I thought was, have you guys heard of ASTS, the ticker? It's not the one that I'd be speculative of, but they make satellites. So they make the physical satellites, and they just signed contracts with like AT&T, Verizon. I think they have a contract with the government. They've just been rocketing. If you look at their stock price,
that's why
Can you make a case to buy like Rocket Lab as a spec position? That would be my argument. Like off of that, because if they're signing all these agreements, it means they're making satellites. Someone has to shoot those satellites up. But like also, I looked at Rocket Lab when they were de-SPACing, and I was like, okay, this company is going to be like pain and misery for like the next few years. You're trying to buy this right now. Good luck. And I think it has really underperformed. But like that could be an interesting spec position.
Yeah. I mean, hey, my spec positions, the ones that I do have at like 1 or 2% are always the ones that like 2 or 3x. So like maybe I need to like flip flop what I'm doing.
Also, you sold Joe Palantir like the worst time as well. Like the next 2 days, he does went up like 20%.
Well, here's the thing. I bought Palantir at 622, and I'm like, earnings is coming up, and people at the time I think were looking for reasons to be negative and sell something. So I was like, if the next earnings isn't good, that there's a real chance it could just absolutely crater. Now, obviously they killed it and it didn't, but I'll take my 3.5x, whatever it ended up. It was closer. Actually, it was actually a 4x now that I think of it. Cause I got in at like 622, got out at like 24.50, 25, somewhere in there. So like, I'm not going to sit here and cry because my 4x wasn't a 5x, right? Like I'm not going to bitch.
Where would you sell high tide?
Depends on how long I've been in it and how fast it gets there. If it were to go to like $5 or $6, like all of a sudden because of maybe something happening around election time,
I will send high tide to $8.
Like I would take my like 3x or whatever that would end up being. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not here to try to say that it's worth a 10x right now today, but some people have been telling me, they've been assuring me I'm going to 10x on that if I hold it long enough. So yeah. Now, if it got, I mean, there is a real chance that if a lot of enthusiasm hit it at once, it could go to like $10 or something. It's been to $10 before the business was even as good as it is now. So it's physically possible that it could happen. But I would probably take my W if it went really far, really fast.
There's a real thesis behind high tide, though. It's not like I don't even know if I can call it a spec play.
It actually literally could just be a slow, steady gainer, right? They have pretty solid free cash flows. They're growing in their eating their competition in Canada, gaining market share. It looks like Germany is going to they were hiring for like an operations manager or something in Germany. So it seems like maybe that's going to be in play soon.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Now the US part is that's the big uncertainty with them. And it seems like people they get super bullish on the possibility of US anytime an election goes a certain way over here. And even if the most progressive possible person, were to become president, it's still quite a ways off from federal legalization, I think.
If Kamala gets in president, High Tide will go bankrupt. I'm saying it here.
No, I think it would be much the opposite. I think that people would, because of the rhetoric and everything. But there's such a large bureaucratic mechanism and a lot of hurdles that need to be cleared politically, possibly with Congress, etc.
Yeah,
there certainly is like there's a desire for sure at the grassroots level. I mean, how many states have legalized now at this point, right? Yeah. And maybe you could get something done on it bipartisan wise. I just wouldn't bet on a large amount of bipartisan cooperation in the next year or two. That's just me being maybe a little pessimistic, but I think realistic.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting. There's all these like small market cap companies that have I don't want to say monopoly, but a very controlling position on like very niche markets.
Yeah.
It's like there's a company I know, it's called Lifeway Foods. The ticker is Lway, like LWAY. And do you know like kefir? I think it's kefir milk.
Yeah, I've seen it on the shelves, I think. Yeah, kefir.
They have like I think they like make all of it in the US. And I mean, it's like it's a super niche market, which I think High Tide is too in a way, right? And it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a really weird chart. I don't know what, I think maybe they just report earnings. A lot of weird dynamics with this. I didn't buy it. Like the family is like not friends with each other. They don't like each other. And so like the family that owns it, like there's a lot of like infighting apparently. Like one brother wants to sell it, the other two don't, so they're like not on speaking terms, and
it's like Succession.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise in there, so I like didn't touch it, but because I don't want like on a small market cap, you don't want your management fighting with each other,
right?
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I just find that's what I think of High Tide.
Yeah, for sure. Clover's another one. I mean, they sell Medicare Advantage plans, but they've only got like 80,000 people on the rolls. But they have shown some signs of profitability recently. Very encouraging.
Nice call on that. I think you had said that you bought some this year.
Yeah, I started buying when it was around $1, and
a good 5-year chart.
I've been they blew up in 2021 because of reasons, because that was when everything was going to be a short squeeze and everything. It was the Wall Street bets favorite back then, but
and it was a Chamath SPAC.
But it is actually started. There was a $1 million insider buy recently, which is what sent it up massively recently.
Wow. We are 1 hour and 43 minutes deep. Thanks to A Money Marshall coming into the show at the end.
Love it when people unexpectedly slide into the conversation. It's fun.
Yeah, we gotta have Andrew on for a full show sometime, and maybe we'll be graced by bacon. We'll be graced by bacon too. Everybody, plug your stuff before you go. Stabula, are you still on your channel, or are you more of a Yahoo guy now? The arc's gone.
You don't want to see the stuff I've done on Yahoo. They hate my guts. That's all I'm saying.
Double D's, you'll be on next week for our going away show. Maybe Aria can join us too.
Is that because you're going away to college?
Yeah, we're going away. It's the last show before college starts, so our freedom is gone after.
So you're gonna have better things to do on a Saturday night than hang out here, is what you're saying.
Oh no, I have to come here, of course, but the LLC commitments they got me too much.
That is true. I actually, I did spend a good amount of money to make all of that happen. So,
Yeah, so I can't be
he's my
going out
indentured
partying.
servant until we start making positive cash flow.
Yeah. Double D's, you want to plug anything, promote anything, go ahead. Your articles.
It's all right. You know,
do the articles just to piss Beater off.
Seeking Alpha.
If Beater's watching, then obviously the articles. Beater, I know you love my article, Beater. You think it's the best article you've ever seen. You think it's a great article. You think I should make more articles, and so you can check out the article. Yeah.
Also, I've heard he's on Twitter.
Yes.
Or X. Sorry, X. He's on X.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
More focused also on YouTube, but I think more focused on X is what we were hearing earlier.
Yes.
Indeed. Some say it's the best platform. Elon is great.
Frankly, he is a good guy. He endorsed
saved free speech.
Andrew, where can the people find you?
Elon supports Dividend Dude full throated.
Whoa! All right, it's too late.
Any Capital Mindset channel. So if you go to the Capital Mindset YouTube page, I have a Twitter, but I privated it because people were taking my ideas and then spinning them off as their own and having people ape into them. So my Twitter is private, so you can't find me there anymore. But but there's a story, and it's no one here. I can tell at some point. But anything Capital Mindset related.
There you go. Link in description. All right. Thank you all for watching. Once again, become a channel member like Andrew, because when you're a channel member like Andrew, not only do you have kids, but you also are able to come on the show whenever your little heart desires. A lot of stuff. $2 a month. You cannot do a lot of things, but you do actually a lot of things with that. But the best you can do, become a channel member. When you hit 5 channel members, everybody, hopefully next week, knock on wood, we're in Headwood. I will do a stone cold stunner off the couch over there, and we'll do our pancake cooking competition, and we'll have community voted on who wins.
Now, does it have to be pancakes, or could it be any breakfast food?
We'll let the members decide. Decide.
because if it's any breakfast food, just prepare to get crushed.
Yeah, pancakes might be my specialty. All right. Thank you all for watching. Smash like and subscribe. Do event stocks, not drugs. And of course, remember, cash flow is king.
King.
Oh,